All right, let's dive into a fantastic story about an investor's dream scenario, finding a really high-quality company at an unbelievable price. We're going to be looking at Skandinaviska Enskilda Banken, or just SEB. And believe me, its story has some powerful lessons for anyone trying to find real value out there in the market. So let's get right into it.
So this is the claim that kicks everything off. SEB was called a high-quality bank available at an amazing price. I mean, come on, that's the kind of phrase that should make any investor's ears perk up, right? How on earth does a top-tier company end up as a bargain? Well, that's the big mystery we're going to unravel today.
And this is the million-dollar question for any investor. It's the holy grail. Look, it's not that hard to find good companies, and it's definitely not hard to find cheap ones. But finding a great company that's also a great deal, that's the real challenge. And the story of SEB shows us exactly how it can happen.
So, what is it about SEB that makes it so special? Let's start with the high-quality side of that equation. Because this isn't just about some bank in Sweden. It's really a lesson in how rock-solid stability can turn into a massive opportunity.
You know, SEB is not some flashy tech stock. We're talking about a financial giant that's been around for over 160 years. Its entire reputation is built on this foundation of stability, paying out consistent dividends and having really disciplined management. These are the kinds of traits that let a company stick around for, well, centuries.
Okay, so where does all that stability actually come from? To get that, we've got to go all the way back to the beginning, to the family that basically programmed the bank's DNA.
The secret ingredient to SEB's success is really its culture, and that culture was forged by the legendary Wallenberg family. See, they weren't chasing quick, short-term profits. They built this bank with a multi-generational mindset, always putting long-term stability above everything else.
And you can see that long-term vision in action right here. From the very beginning in 1856, all the way through its expansion across Northern Europe, SEB's growth has always been slow, steady, and strategic. It's the complete opposite of that growth-at-all-costs mindset that gets so many other companies into a world of trouble.
So, history and culture are obviously super important, but what about the business itself? Let's pop the hood and take a look at SEB's corporate banking engine, because that's the real source of its strength.
This chart pretty much tells you everything you need to know. While a lot of banks are laser-focused on everyday consumers, SEB's bread and butter is serving huge corporations and institutions. And that's a much more stable and profitable business simply because these massive clients are a lot less likely to default on their loans.
So you see, SEB isn't just a lender. It's more like a trusted advisor to some of the biggest companies in the world. When a major corporation needs to raise a ton of money or expand its operations, SEB is who they call. These deep relationships with their clients give them a huge competitive advantage.
All right, so we've established that SEB is a top-quality, rock-solid bank. But that's only half the puzzle, right? The big question is, how did it ever get so cheap? Well, the answer lies in the one thing that even the strongest companies can't control: total market panic.
It's a classic truth of investing, isn't it? The absolute greatest opportunities are born in times of crisis. When the market is in a full-blown panic and everybody is selling, that's when you can find incredible deals on even the best companies.
It's kind of like a heavyweight boxer in a chaotic bar fight. When the punches start flying, the weaker fighters, they get knocked out fast. But the heavyweight, with his strong chin and powerful defense, he can take the hits and come out on top. That's SEB in a financial crisis. Its high capital ratios are like a massive financial cushion, and its strict risk controls are that powerful defense.
So here it is, the value investor's playbook, step by step. First, a crisis hits, and everybody justifiably panics. They sell everything, including high-quality banks like SEB, and that's your moment. That's your chance to buy at a huge discount. Then, as the storm passes, the strong banks recover, and your investment pays off handsomely.
So the story of SEB is way more than just a history lesson. It's really a masterclass in long-term investing. Let's break down the key takeaways that you can actually apply to your own investment strategy. First lesson, and this is a big one. In a world that's obsessed with hype and speculation, sometimes boring is beautiful. A company with a long, 160-year track record of stability and a conservative culture, that's a company that is built to last through all the booms and all the busts. Lesson 2 is that classic advice: be greedy when others are fearful. When the market is in a total panic, think about 2008 or the first few weeks of 2020, that's your signal to go looking for quality on sale, not to join the herd and sell everything.
That's exactly where the amazing price comes from.
And number 3, get paid while you wait. I mean, who doesn't love that? Dividends are really the unsung heroes of long-term investing. For a stable bank like SEB, they give you a nice, steady stream of income while you wait for the rest of the market to recognize the true value of your investment. It's a reward for being patient.
And finally, lesson 4. Defense wins championships. In investing, just like in sports, the best offense is often a really good defense. By avoiding unnecessary risks, a philosophy straight out of the Wallenberg playbook, you protect your capital and give yourself the best possible shot at long-term success. So, it all comes down to this, doesn't it? The next time the market is in a total freefall and everyone you know is panicking, just remember the story of SEB. Will you be the one selling out of fear or the one who has the courage to buy? The choice, ultimately, is yours. Thanks for tuning in.